in order to get to that vision where an ecosystem of music apps are building cool music apps on a protocol, we had to first kickstart that, right, and create the first app and start to attract some of that licensable content. And that app, my team hates when I say it or when I use this comparison, but it's like OnlyFans for musicians.
Now, this one here is a really interesting one, and this is all around the distribution of royalties from music rights. And I love this one because it ties into so many of the Web2 platforms out there and allows developers and creators to really tap in and use this protocol. And I have Session Cruz here joining me to talk all about DEMU. Sessions, welcome to the podcast.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So what is it exactly that you're building for the community and I should say for the entire Web2, Web3 space?
DEMU is a set of tools that we aim to empower musicians and record labels to directly manage their music business, right? With no middlemen. So that's like the big vision. The big vision is a music rights protocol that'll help musicians and record labels manage the license of their IP across all sales channels with automatic royalty payments back to the rights holder. So that's the big vision. That's what the protocol is, but we have to start somewhere. And so where we're starting from that big vision, we're starting with the first DApp, right? Because we want to be a protocol like the internet is a protocol, where music apps can build on top of a protocol with the challenge of licensing music and paying royalties already solved for them. In order to get to that vision where an ecosystem of music apps are building cool music apps on a protocol, we had to first kickstart that, right, and create the first app and start to attract some of that licensable content. And that app, my team hates when I say it or when I use this comparison, but it's like OnlyFans for musicians. Right? It's
yeah, they would hate that.
That's what the DEMU Jukebox is. Our first app is OnlyFans for musicians. Is basically a creator can offer their content direct to consumer and receive the revenues generated directly. Right? That's what it means. A tamer way of putting it. I also like it because it catches attention. But a tamer way to put it is Shopify for music, right? And so that's effectively what it is. Artists can become, offer their music for streaming. They can be their own streaming platform and sell their music. Like back in the days when album sales were a thing, right? So, or cassettes, etc. Anyway, so that's kind of the first killer use case, right? That the DEMU Jukebox, which will start to attract artists to the app from that core use case that they can now transact directly with their fans, build a relationship directly with them. And over time, as we start to attract these artists, that content that we collect, that we start to attract, we then start to make it available to other music apps and music startups or, any business that chooses to license music in any way. They can easily, there'll be a tool for them to license that music. Yeah.
So I think that the really key thing there is one, like the ability for an artist to directly connect with their audience that is engaging with the music. It's one thing to be like on Instagram or whatever it is and have that, kind of commenting thing there, but you don't know if that person is an actual fan, if they're listening to music, if they've listened to all of your albums that you've released, they're a super fan then, as opposed to just someone just commenting and doesn't even listen to the music. This is like really key. You have all these different metrics, exactly how engaged this person is. And then of course the second part of the protocol where the royalties for listening to that music goes back to the artist straight away. So it's two really key important things there, and I absolutely love that about the platform.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess the DEMU Jukebox is direct to consumer, but B2C, and the protocol is also direct to consumer, but it's B2B. right? That's kind of the two levels. So we start with the tools so that artists can, connect directly with their fans, and then they can and then later with the protocol they can connect directly with other music businesses who also want to license their music and generate revenue on it, on the myriad ways that one can generate revenue on IP.
So how can music artists right now engage with you guys and have their music listed on the jukebox player and start engaging with their fans?
Yeah. So we're launching actually in time for Rare Evo in 2 weeks. So we've already begun. We have a small group of artists that we're going to start with, about 5, 10 around there. That's the magic number. So in the meantime, artists can just go to DEMU.pro and express interest there. There should be a button that you press and put yourself on the email list, on the wait list, and we'll start to onboard people as we can. Yeah. We're still a scrappy startup, so we're still getting that capacity up.
And what about the future plans of it and allowing other protocols to build on top of it? So I know there's a lot of Web3 tech startups are doing something similar or may be interested in using some of your tech here. How is the tech available and ready for them to start building on top of, or are you close to there, or where were you at with that part of it?
Yeah, that's the next step, right? We have some pieces built already for that, but the subject of our Project Catalyst proposal, if we get funded, will help us to build those APIs to connect to this repository of licensable content, right? We kind of can't even support them without the music. So that's why we have to start with the DEMU Jukebox first. In that way, make ourselves attractive to these other businesses that would then want to license the music in their use case. Yeah.
With a lot of different other Web3 protocols, there's always some way that the community is involved in like a share of the royalties or a tokenization of the economy. Is there anything like that within the DEMU ecosystem?
See, that's the beautiful thing. When musicians manage their IP on the blockchain in the way that I'm talking about, I imagine that there can be an app in this ecosystem that could build DeFi for music, right? Right. When we're tokenizing the IP, the underlying IP. That's how we're tracking IP. And actually, IOG helped us to create these tokenomics. It was under their recommendations, the structure that we're using. And so basically, let's say 100 tokens represent 100% of a song. And so if you hold 10 tokens, the system knows that it owes from this chunk of revenue, 10% of it goes to that wallet holder, right? That token holder. And so you can imagine with that base idea that a DeFi for music application can build on top of the protocol.
Right.
And making available a marketplace, an IP marketplace where that same rights holder can maybe sell their tokens outright or even get a loan out on it. And the pretty cool thing about that is as apps connect on the protocol, that IP rights holder gets a better sense of the IP valuation, right? It knows how much revenue is being generated across all these different applications. And so there's a pinpoint accuracy of the value of that IP. And that's valuable not only to the musician or the record label seeking to sign such an artist, right? You need to know what the value that artist is creating or generating, but also even for the fan or for that investor in this DeFi for music application that might be built, right? We're not seeking to build those applications. We hope to spread these ideas so that others can, be inspired and do that.
I'm pretty excited with the future of this one and where it can go. So good luck with your Catalyst proposals and the funding for it so you guys can get to the next stage of development and marketing and everything else around it. Well, where can people find out more information about this, become an artist on the platform and actually play the music when you launch in a couple of weeks?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, everything will be on DEMU.pro. See, the secret, the jukebox is actually available right now. The only thing that's the bottleneck is the terms of service, the legal, terms of service and the privacy policies. We want to make sure that all artists uploading their music, they can attest to owning that music, and even if they don't, that DEMU is not held responsible, right? Because we're just a protocol that facilitates artists being able to generate revenue on that IP, right? So we're not trying to sell the music for them anyway. So, the technology already exists, is ready to go. And if you were on our Discord, you can actually use it right now.
All right, brilliant. I'll grab those links and make sure it's in the show notes so people can check it out and listen to some of the artists that you've already onboarded in the ecosystem. So I'm looking forward to it. I'll join in a moment and check it out myself. But Sessions, thank you so much for joining me on this episode and talking about it. I think the community is going to get quite a lot out of this one.
Awesome. Thank you so much for giving me the space, for sure.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debate.